Once again, we have a number of fairly notable news stories to cover, so let's waste no time and get right into all of it. Starting with the news that Microsoft is currently in early discussions to potentially acquire Discord, the popular communications application. This isn't the first time Discord has found itself potentially the target of acquisitional interest to other larger companies. Both Epic Games and Amazon have previously made overtures to potentially buy out Discord and fold it into their portfolio. However, while media outlets rush to produce headlines that make it seem as if the acquisition is all set in stone, the reverse is indefinitely closer to the truth. There has been no official statement from either Discord nor any of its prospective buyers about the current state of the business, and nor would we reasonably expect them to do so. It would be an enormous public embarrassment to declare victory before the negotiation battles have been ended. Personally, I do not think that Microsoft would be legally able to buy out Discord entirely. If Discord went public, Microsoft could be able to buy up a sizable minority of the stock, enough to warrant a powerful degree of influence over Discord, but I cannot imagine the sale being approved by US antitrust commissions. Discord is arguably one of the biggest online text, voice, and video communication platforms in existence, and arguably whose only major direct competition is Skype, which is already owned by Microsoft. Allowing Microsoft, who already owns Skype, to own Discord in full would be like the US government allowing Disney to buy out DC Comics when they already own Marvel. You could always argue, well, there's still at least some competition out there, but it would be like saying Disney can own Marvel and DC because small independent companies like Dark Horse still exist. No one company should be able to hold an unreasonably large degree of influence or control over any specific market. Maybe the US Antitrust Commission will be entirely toothless and let the sale go through, but my gut instinct tells me that Microsoft will not be allowed to make the buyout. The two only likely outcomes I foresee is that either Discord will be bought out entirely by someone else, whether it's Amazon or another similarly large company, or it will go public on the stock market. Of the two, I tend to lean more in the direction of option B. Going public would be a bit of a risk for Discord, as it would result in them potentially giving up a lot of their creative control over their company. Depending on who they were sold to, it's reasonably possible that if they were sold to a larger company, that company might be willing to mostly leave them alone to do whatever it is that they wanted to do, as long as they brought in long-term a decent amount of profit. As a publicly traded company, things would be a bit different. Instead of just concerning themselves with the interests of their users and their overhead leadership, Discord would have to constantly set the needs of users aside and sacrifice a potentially stable singular vision from above from their corporate owner in favor of a much more fractured and unclear direction from their shareholders and their board of directors. Having one single voice calling the shots is often much preferable than thousands of people competing to shout over one another. Staying a private company isn't always exclusively a good thing, but it's not without its advantages either. And for our second and more minor news story for today, Valve just today announced the dates for this year's Steam Next Fest, which, for those of you caught off guard by the new name, is the newest iteration of the Steam Game Festival, where developers dedicate a weekend to showing off their newest upcoming games via live streams, trailers, and gameplay footage, and oftentimes allowing users to check out new demos, which in most cases are exclusively available only for the duration of the festival, rendering them unplayable past that point. Personally, I'm really not a big fan of the timed exclusivity concept. I believe that if you're comfortable releasing your demo to the public, it should therefore stay public unless there is a specific need for doing the opposite. Such as if the demo featured a lot of bugs that needed to be fixed, it would significantly hamper the gameplay experience to the point where it would deter new players from potentially buying the game at launch, in which case the developer should immediately plan to replace the old demo with a fixed demo in as expedient a manner as possible. Or if they wanted to do more minor fixes like refining the visual or performance aspects, you could do that too. But simply just making a demo timed exclusive for the sake of it, I'm not on board with that. People screech at Epic Games for timed exclusivity, but then say nothing when Steam designs an entire promotional event around timed exclusivity. Personally, my view is that if we're going to criticize one company for taking a specific anti-consumer stance on something like timed exclusivity, we should be consistent in criticizing other competing companies that take similar actions. Otherwise, if you're only willing to criticize companies you personally dislike, you're little more than a partisan hack, not interested in the actual substantive ethical high ground, but just interested in using the issue as a mallet to attack people who use a different platform than you. I think Epic's done some good things right, and I think they've done a lot of things wrong, but the same can be said of Steam. And to say, well, Steam has a good history of being pro-consumer, so it's okay every now and then if they do something anti-consumer, no, that's not how it works. Wrong is wrong and right is right, and we have to be able to clearly distinguish the two. We can't just ignore companies that do things wrong in the modern day because they've had some good days in the past. We can't view the world through rose-tinted glasses. And on that note, that's where I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. This wasn't a very long video, but I've been busy working on a whole batch of new review videos, the first of which will be out in the next few days. It's been a slow start to the year, not a lot of interesting games to review. Plus, I'm currently still working part-time, going to university full-time. Just got elected as a student government official about a month ago, so that's been a lot of work, and I'm now putting the final touches on my long-in-development children's picture book. All of which combined make it really hard to put out these videos as consistently as I would normally prefer to release them. If you want to support the work I do in this channel, do consider subscribing and clicking the bell to get notifications when I upload future videos. YouTube does a pretty garbage job of telling people otherwise, so if you like my videos and want them to show up in your feed, please do me the enormous favor of enabling all notifications. I don't currently feature sponsorships on the channel, nor do I really shill for a Patreon page or something similar. I don't ask people to give me money, all I ask is that if you enjoy this kind of content, at least consider subscribing and clicking the bell, because YouTube makes it really hard for small creators like me to grow. And doing both of those things somewhat forces YouTube to make sure you see my content when it goes live. My current end-of-year goal is to cross over 2,000 subscribers. Earlier this year, I made a public pledge that if the channel crosses over 2,000 subscribers by December 31st, 2021, I will donate $100 to the Team Trees nonprofit initiative, a group dedicated to reducing our carbon footprint and repairing the damage done by environmental disasters by planting millions of new trees every year. So if you want to help me do a little good and give back to the world, there's another reason to subscribe and nudge me closer to fulfilling my pledge. This is Warrior Dan signing out. Stay awesome, everybody. Stay safe and peace out. Because YouTube likes videos to be 8 minutes or more, I figure if I have to stretch out the time, I might as well give you something to enjoy in the meantime. What the hell is he doing? He's been doing this for like a solid minute now. I almost feel bad for him. Clearly the animators of the game didn't think this one through. Well, there he goes. There goes our buddy. Hey, Bill. This is how we treat those who pray. Okay, that was a waste of resources. But goddamn it, that was funny.
Please don't destroy my car.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I didn't do it! That wasn't me!
Oh my god.